Okay, so I just got some really disturbing news. There is a remake planned for next year, I believe in March, for a remake of Fright Night. And for those of you who do not know or don't have a clue about what Fright Night is, this here is the movie. Um, Originally produced in 1985. It's about a boy who has a vampire who lives next door to him. He wants this person to basically be eradicated. He seeks out the help of a local TV star. They get together, they kill the vampire. It's a done deal. There was a remake, um, like I believe 3 years later, in 1989. But the original director Tom Holland did not do the sequel. Somebody else did it. And it was okay. I wasn't even messed up with that. But this new film that they are trying to come up with out of thin air is nothing like um the original version. They have, of all people, Colin Farrell to play the role of Jerry Dandridge. And again, if you have never seen the movie, in the original, Jerry Dandridge is played by Chris Sarandon. If you don't know who Chris Sarandon is, in Child's Play, he is the detective. Um, he also was the voice on one of the characters in A Nightmare Before Christmas. But again, if you don't know who it is, Google him and you'll be able to identify with him because he's a known actor. Of course, he can't play Jerry Dandridge at this point because he's too old. He probably could play Jerry Dandridge, but he wouldn't be fitting for this. But the problem that I have is that when you directors do these remakes, you mess up the storyline to the point where it's not really a remake. It's just whatever you wanted to do. The same thing happened when they decided to do the Nightmare on Elm Street film over again. I mean, nobody wanted Freddy to die. Everybody wanted Freddy to go on and on and on. And Wes Craven was pretty pissed about his baby being redone, um, as I would be. Nobody wants this wonderful idea that they have to be turned into complete mush, which is what they're about to do to Fright Night. The storyline is being set in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, yeah. And Peter Vincent is not a TV show host for the TV show Fright Night. Instead, he's a magician or illusionist. And they have this guy from Doctor Who playing Peter Vincent. And it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If you can't do something right, just don't do it at all. Nobody is really screaming for you to do another Fright Night. Not like they've screamed for Freddy, not like they've screamed for Jason or Michael Myers and any of those guys who were very popular 80s and early 90s horror show movie icons. Nobody is screaming for you to do another Fright Night. This is just a complete waste of money, time. The characters that you pick don't fit. Like they've got Colette, Tony Collette doing playing the role of Charlie Brewster's mother, Jane Brewster. And I'm not taking anything away from her. She was in The Sixth Sense. She played a good role, but I just don't see her fitting into this role of Charlie Brewster's mother. Again, if you've seen the original film or if you got some time to go blockbuster rent it, it might be on YouTube here for all I know. But if you watch it, Charlie's mother is older. And Toni Collette is older, but she doesn't seem to fit that role. You know, today with prosthetics and all these wonderful makeup artists, they can change things, they can make people look older, but it just doesn't fit. So I'm sorry for the long rant, but I really hate that you guys are going to take one of my favorite movies. I think that this might have been the first movie I ever saw. I'm an 80s baby, and my mom was really heavy into horror movies, so that's all we watched. And it just seems like every year it keeps getting worse and worse and worse with these remakes, like Rob Zombie completely messing Halloween up. I know what he was trying to do, but I don't want to see your wife's titties in every movie. I mean, yeah, that's cool. If you cool with it, your wife being nude, whatever. But don't nobody want to see that in every single movie. All of your movies are the same. White chicks with boobies. Okay, we got it. Do you have another card to play? Please. And then they go and do again the Nightmare on Elm Street, which was a waste of time. You didn't need to do that. And I hear that Creepshow is also being remade to be released either 2011 and 2012ish. And supposedly Stephen King is going to be the director on that remake. And that's another one of my favorite movies. I don't know how true it is, but if he does it, it may turn out okay. Because Stephen King has done an actual Creepshow production before, but George A. Romero was the director for the very first one. And though things like, Creepshow are not on the same type of level as a movie like Fright Night, Nightmare on Elm Street, or anything like that, but it's just like, can we get some new ideas, some new things, new developments? All of these directors in the 80s, like your Sean S. Cunningham, your Wes Craven, even the guy who played Freddy Krueger, he could even come up with an original film. No filmmakers today can come up with original horror ideas, and that's very troubling. I feel like that this whole horror genre is just being flushed down the toilet, and that what do we really have to look forward to but a whole bunch of remakes, things that we've seen before, the card has already been played, and it's getting played out. So, directors, please come up with something original and make it compelling because I'm getting sick and tired of having to walk out of the theater within the first 25 to 30 minutes of the movie because it just utterly sucks. The best thing I've seen over, I would say, the last 3 to 4 years, if that, was The Mist and possibly Saw. Those were, I guess, the best horror movies I've seen that weren't remakes, that were, well, I take that back because The Mist actually was a remake. This was just an updated version. So, okay, I'll give you a remake that it was done nicely. The Mist. Ooh, one. The Mist was good, and yeah, Saw, it was okay for the first 2 or 3 times I saw it, and then after that, it was just a hot mess because the storyline is kind of veering to the point of nowhere. Okay, my rant is over. Again, if you have not seen this movie, I would encourage you to at least rent it, check it out on YouTube or wherever you can get it. Just take a look at it. It's decent. It is 80s. Some people might think it's corny. There are a couple of parts in the movie that don't make any sense. I won't spoil it for you, but some of the visual effects are not that good. But again, it's a pretty cool movie. It's something fun to watch and have a good laugh at. So that's it. I'm out, YouTube.